Second half, Michael Porter Jr. is a really good basketball player, and he had 22 at halftime, and we addressed it, and I thought our team, led by OG, because that was his matchup, they did a good job coming out, trying to be more conscious and aware of where he was on the floor, and he ended up with I think 3 points in the second half. Also, something else we addressed their offensive rebounding. They had 10 offensive rebounds at halftime, and they got long athletes that crash the glass. Claxton, Clowney, they're terrific on the glass, and Sharp is terrific on the glass as well. And so our guys did a nice job coming out and keeping them off the glass. We didn't feel we played great defense in the first half, especially with them scoring 40 points in the second quarter, and our guys did a great job of tightening it up. They scored a total of 36 points in the second half, and that was a great awareness with all of our guys defensively. Our level of awareness picked up, our level of physicality picked up as well. We had 3 verticalities, which is huge for us. I think that's the highest number we had. OG had a big one in the third quarter for us. And we had 12 deflections in the second half. So that tells you right then and there that our level of physicality, awareness, all that other stuff was there for us, and it translated into what they scored and what they shot from the floor. And then on top of that, we ended up with 48 baskets and 38 assists on those 48 baskets. And, we always talk offensively, hey, touch the paint and spray it, touch the paint and spray it. We ended up with 18 sprays, which isn't bad. Felt we could have probably had more. And then 15 offensive rebounds. We had 15 offensive rebounds for 25 second chance points. And, both those areas we're big believers in, and our guys went out and got it done. Mitch, by the way, was the defensive player of the game. I don't really fall into the plus-minus stuff a ton, but, another amazing stat. He keeps throwing up these stats that are amazing. He played 16 and a half minutes, and he was a plus 40, to impact the game that way. And again, I'm not a huge believer in it, but to see a number like that in the short amount of time that he played is just amazing.
Mike, when you think about this team leading the NBA in 40-point quarters, I think you guys have 6 now compared to the next best team has 4 40-point quarters. Is that a good sign that the offense is trending in the right direction for you?
Yeah, it is, but we're still learning. I truly believe we could still play better. We could still mix it up, and what we have to get cautious of is not settling. We're moving a lot of bodies around, and we want to keep moving bodies around to make it hard on the defense. And if we do, and it becomes just second nature to us, then we'll have a chance to be a pretty good offensive team.
Mike, sorry, did I cut you off?
No.
Oh,
No.
Did you notice anything different tonight with Carl's passing out of drives? Like, you love the sprays, right? Like, I feel, maybe just me, but I feel like he's getting a little more comfortable passing out of those drives, and that seems to be integral to keeping things moving.
Yeah, if he drives the ball and it's one-on-one, hey, go finish. He's one of the best finishers I've been around. He's extremely creative. But if he draws a second defender, then you've done your job. You draw a second defender, somebody is open. And, I think he only ended up with 2 assists tonight. I'd have to go back and watch the game to really have a good feel of it. But I thought he made pretty good decisions with it. And more importantly, is we want to keep trying to move him around so that teams can't just sit on him at the top of the floor. And if we can do that, then I think eventually the game's going to be a lot easier for him, because he's going to be in places where teams aren't used to doubling, because one time he's here, now he's there, now he's here. So that's what we plan on doing with him. And he's getting a little bit more comfortable every time we step on the floor.
Mike, coming into the homestand here, you guys were not great in third quarters, especially the Milwaukee and Miami game, but you come home and you're dominating these third quarters the last 4 nights. Did the approach change? Did anything change specifically between beginning of the year and then when you guys came home?
Yeah, I said this before. We had lost 3 in a row, and a lot of people thought the sky was falling, but we hadn't been together long. I'll be the first to admit I didn't know when to put Josh in, when to take him out. I didn't know when to put Mitch in, when to take him out. I was still figuring out our rotations and how we're going to play and all that other stuff, and so we just need time. And I thought I was bad, and we were bad as a team in Miami. We went to, I think, Milwaukee next, and I thought we were pretty good in the first half. We kind of fell apart a little bit in the second half, and then we go to Chicago, and not as good the first half, but we were pretty good in the second half. So again, it's not going to happen one night. We may go on another 3-game losing streak. We may, mess up in the third quarter. Who knows? If you want to be great in life, you got to find a way to get consistent. Be consistent. That's the biggest thing, and that's what we're preaching and talking about. And all we did was just address our third quarters. Hey, whatever we got to do to come out, be locked in, let's do it. But Ty's our strength coach. He's not stretching them any longer or whatever. Our guys going out and they're just playing and they're locked in.
Mike, you said we have a chance to be a pretty good offensive team.
Yeah.
You had over a 4-quarter span last game and this game, 160 points. Is it when you say we have a chance to be good, you mean just it's got to be consistent, or because that's crazy, those numbers?
No, yeah, but so we're talented, and we're going to have, no matter what we do on the floor, we're going to have the ability to score. But you take the regular season and you prepare yourself for the postseason. And if you just go out there and play the wrong way and win, we still probably going to score because we're talented. Got a lot of guys that can score, but it's not going to help us later on. And there are things that we have to continue to try to get better at in terms of our recognition and stuff like that out on the floor, and our pace, getting the ball in bounds on a make, not walking the ball up, getting right to our stuff. If they take this away, bam, we got counters, go to the counter. So there are a lot of little things that it's hard to explain, to you guys to a certain degree, but our guys know it, and we'll show it to them, and so I do think we can be better, and that's what we should all be striving for, is to be better, and there's still a lot of room for us to grow.